Alright, Michael, what are we doing tonight?
Well, tonight we thought we'd do something a little bit different, and being that this is Hackshop, I suppose, we might run through a few workshop hacks. Everyone has those workshop hacks. Everyone knows that old dude that has all these little tricks that he's been doing 50 years and you've never seen it before, and you go, oh, that is so much easier than the way I do it. So I thought we'll do 10 workshop hacks in 10 minutes or so.
or less
or more. We don't know how long it's going to take. We'll see how we go.
Depends on the blabbing.
Depends on the bloke. Anyway, number one.
So first things first, I think the simplest thing is labels. Buy a label making machine instead of a Sharpie and masking tape.
Hey, what's
and
wrong
the
with
label
my...
maker, I feel like is a little bit better.
Hey, but what's wrong with my Sharpie
No,
on that?
that's okay. The Sharpie is lasted there. So obviously everything is labelled. It's clamps, chisels and stuff. You know, all these boxes are labelled with what they've got. And that was heavier than I thought. That used to be a lot lighter, but we've topped up. Well, the only thing that isn't labelled, which everyone that comes here to work on their car, they're like, "Where's the Allen keys? Where's the Allen keys? Allen keys are in the sock drawer."
That's the one thing that you always complain about.
Yeah. So yeah, labels. That way, anyone that wants to come use your tools, you just say, "Look at the labels."
Yeah.
You know what isn't labelled though?
What?
It's labelled car parts and paints.
Oh, it hasn't been updated.
Hasn't been updated, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
We don't know how to spell special to So I think the first hack is label everything.
So here's a hack that we actually get asked about a hell of a lot, to be honest. This little trolley that I made here, it's just made out of MDF, and it's just got, if I take these out, some rails that I made up on the side here with a little lip here to catch these containers. This has been an awesome thing that we've used for a long time now. It has the benefit of storing all our stuff. You can see here every one of these has a different purpose. This one, for example, this one's for all our terminals and stuff like that when it comes to wiring. And this one over here, which is a heavy one, which we do not want to spill, is all our nutserts. And we just label everything so we know what sizes we're working with. This is an awesome little thing that you can make easily at home just with some MDF that you can get from Bunnings or whatever. And you knock it up and it just stores everything in one area. I put mine on wheels because I do with everything as much as I can. So you can wheel it to a job. But mostly now it just lives in its little home here and fits under the bench. Almost like we made the bench to suit it. Alright, so one of my hacks is, if you're anything like Nathan, when you're working underneath the car, you tend to just drop bolts as you're going. For me, what I like to do is, these little benches, which are basically made out of a Bunnings cafe table top, and then we just made up some frames and some wheels on the bottom of it, and plus it's what, probably like 50 bucks or something to make up something like this.
Yeah.
And these things follow us everywhere underneath the car while we're working, and when Nathan drops his bolts, they just land here now and they don't go very far. This is one of the best things we've ever made, I reckon. Anyway, if you can make yourself one of these up, this is a great little hack. We use these, you'll see us every week using these, I reckon.
I feel like a small table like this is any garage size.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how big the garage is, a table on wheels is handy.
Yeah, and in all honesty, you don't just have to have a user front underneath the hoist. We use it outside all the time just to wheel stuff around. Oh, let's do a sub hack while we're on the sub hack. This is like a whatever number we're up to, 0.1.
3.
Here's my sub hack when it comes to benches. Put them on wheels, right there. Put everything on wheels. My couch is on wheels, for crying out loud. Because what it means is your shed is no longer like just tied to the ground. You can literally just move stuff and change things around to how you need to work for that day. Anyway, I got distracted. If you're making your benches, do yourself a favor. Make them all the same height. Because that means when you're laying something out, and we've done it before, when you've got something really long, a big piece of steel, you can lay it across and it's going to sit level. You don't have stuff going wonky or anything like that. So make them all the same height. It works really well.
So my next hack is, I think it's always got to go back to what I love, and that's using the Boogatron 3000. So using the Boogatron 3000, when you're making fiddly little crap like we do, I feel like using this is a pain in the ass. So I think a full steel bench top is great. Or even just a big plate of steel with a bolt welded to it. That way you can just put that plate of steel onto your wheelie bench. It's coming again. And really good. And then you can booger it up and you're good to go. So I think some thick sheet metal with a little arm on it so you can put your S-clamp to make your little brackets.
If you got yourself a steel cutting saw or even a timber saw, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. This is a cold cutting saw. Seriously, get a cold cutting saw. Abrasion discs are a thing of the past. Get a cold cutting saw. Anyway, one of the things with doing that when we first built this shed is when we were cutting stuff up and when we were building that bench, we were doing it on the floor.
Yeah.
And you know, you set it up, you sit on the floor and you're cutting, and then you're trying to level your steel out, whoever it is, all the way down to try and make level.
Yeah.
This bench here is purposely built for this purpose of cutting steel. I made the drop down here so that when you sit a piece of steel over it, it's level. And it's supported either side. You don't have to worry about trying to support it out that side. If I've got something that's really long, I can also wheel this out, because like all my benches, this is on wheels, so we can wheel this out. And I've got a roller here, which I can set up at the end here just to support it even more. Yeah, this has been awesome. We use this all the time. It just means that this is quick and easy to use. It's already set up. You don't have to worry about dragging the saw out every time you want to use it. And this area here, I made a little bit bigger than the actual saw itself so that you can actually still do your miters and stuff like that, which is a huge advantage as well too.
It's fair to say that I love painting things. And I think that having a file drawer with your labelled sandpapers, 1200, 800, 600, 240, all the way down to 40.
Yeah.
That's when you really want to get something off.
Yeah, that's when you're really scratching it. And in all honesty, it does a good job because it doesn't bend it, it doesn't get dusty, it doesn't get dirty. It actually, it's actually been a really good hack so far.
It works perfect.
Yeah, I'm happy with that one.
It's my favourite.
Alright, so this one, I don't know if it's so much of a hack more than it's a necessity, but I want to cover it anyway, because if there's one thing since the beginning of time, since the dawn of mankind, that we can definitely agree on in every shed between father and son, it is, hold the light right, you bloody idiot, I can't see what I'm doing. Dad telling you off, like this, not like that. Bloody hold it there. Hold it there, not like that, what are you doing, I can't see. I'm sure everyone has been in the same situation. So, to me, lighting is something that I spend a hell of a lot of time researching and trying to figure out which is the best option. You can see here we have many different options. We have head torches. These are new, by the way, we just got these, they're pretty cool. Head torches are amazing for when you're working underneath the car or on your back or in wheel wells and stuff, to be able to just flick on a head torch and see what you're doing. In honesty, you get yourself a good one of these, and all of these almost become redundant if you're working by yourself. But if you have a buddy and you're working with others, you're going to want other kinds of lights too. You've got like your floodlights here. These are awesome, really good, really bright. These are our cheap and nasty ones, which we started with, which we barely use anymore. This torch right here.
That's your baby.
This is my baby. I love this thing. This is brilliant. You know, any torches with magnets or anything like that, like these ones here are magnetic as well too.
That's my favorite.
Get yourself a light with a magnet in it and it just makes life so much easier. Under hood lights as well too, for when you're working underneath the bonnets and stuff like that. These are awesome. And then just like, you know, your typical sort of tradie lights, these are really useful as well too. And you can see we even have a studio light. Not saying every shed needs a studio light, but we do when we're filming underneath the car. This helps us so that you can actually see what we're talking about. Anyway, so for me, one really important hack is get yourself some good lighting, don't skimp on it. It just makes it so much easier and it will avoid so many arguments with the old man.
All right, so the next thing, sandwich bags.
Sandwich bag.
Not just for your PB&J, they are for your XY bolts. Simple, yet effective.
Ziploc bags, when it comes to organising your bolts and keeping track of everything, are so vital and such an awesome way of keeping things neat. You can obviously write them as well too. You know exactly where they came from, and when you're looking for that bolt, it's just easy. Bag and tag, people, bag and tag.
Bag and tag 'em, boys. We aren't the best for it, I'll admit. We like start a build and we'll do it, but then halfway through it,
it's man.
That shelf over there where our battery is just becomes a clutter of bolts.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we need to get better at this. Maybe we'll watch this video back.
And you can get various
Get all
sizes.
different sizes.
You're using the extra large one, shit's getting serious. If you're using extra large, you probably should have subcategorized your bolts.
Get the A4 one, Marge!
Oh, clever.
Ever come across trying to fill a diff or a transmission from underneath the car or anything like that? And you know, you've got your oil, you can't just like fill it in because you're not an auto guy, you're a manual guy like me, so you're trying to put it through the hole on the side. Generally, you're going to be turning on one of these things. These things suck. They just take forever, you know.
Don't worry, I remember doing your GQ Patrol diff.
Yeah, that takes forever. It's just a pain in the ass. So we got sick of that and we came up with this.
This little doodad right here, you've probably seen before in a few of our episodes when we've been filling diffs or gearboxes or anything underneath the car. It works!
That's working so well.
Hell yeah, I'm wrapped in that. That's like the best thing ever made.
Where's the plug?
I don't know. This thing is a massive time saver. And basically all it is just a homemade tool that we made up using an old tire inflator and a bit of vinyl tubing and a cap. And that's it. And it is designed to move oil, and a lot of oil. So, for demonstration purposes, we are going to move some oil.
I feel like you're the sham wow guy.
Sham wow. So all we do is we do this up. You usually want a second attendant to help you with this because there is that fear factor that it's going to go bang. We get our air, plug her in, sit that over there, and we pump oil, and we pump a lot of oil. Woo, that bottle's getting real pumped up. You gotta be careful not to blow too much air into that. If you want to see how we made this, we've got a video that I can link somewhere here to show you how we did it. This thing, nice and quick, you do have that fear factor of it going bang in your face, so you just hold on to the cap and get someone else to hold the bottle.
But how fun is working on cars if you're not like getting in fear of covering in oil or punching your knuckles against something?
Yeah. If you're not living in constant fear while working in cars, you're not doing it right. Anyway, I like this hack. This is one of my favourites.
Next to my favourite one, which you probably always see me do, maybe not, I don't know. I can't remember actually. Is I'm always putting, before I'm painting something, I always put it in hot water. So this is a can straight out of the cabinet. This is already shaken. And then this is a can that's been sitting in hot water for about, I don't know, what do you say?
We set them in for about 5 minutes, I reckon, like that.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Just
So I just fill it till it's like, it's not going to float and topple over.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want the nozzle to go in the water. I don't know if it'll go down it or whatever. But hot water, that's it. Out of the tap, in a bucket. I honestly think that it pressurizes the can more, it heats up the paint, mixes better, and it just sprays so much better.
Yeah, you'll find, I don't know, we're going to compare it now to see if it actually makes a difference and it's just not just in our head. But we just find that generally it just makes the spray pattern a whole lot finer and a whole lot nicer. So this is control.
This is the first can. This is straight out of the cabinet. So this is warmed up.
It sounds different.
Now, if that was me, that sounded better.
Yeah.
Can you get that on the camera?
Yeah, the second coat on the first one didn't coat as well.
Like, that is so much more pressurized compared to that.
Yeah.
And I reckon the paint lays down heaps better as well.
It's worth saying though, different cans, different brands have different results. Results may vary.
But anyway, it's something that you can pre-do before you paint your piece. You do it like while you're sanding it or whatever. And then you just go get your can. It's nice and warm. It's toasty on the hands. It's toasty on the hands. You know, you're not grabbing this cold can and you're like trying to spray. You know, it's toasty. It's like a hand warmer.
Yeah.
And you're spraying comfortably.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's got to be my top one. That's gotta be
Yeah,
my
I reckon
top.
that's your favourite hack for
That's
sure.
my top. Doesn't matter what I'm painting, even if it's summer and that can's already bloody 50 degrees sitting in the cabinet, goes in hot water.
And those two are both brand new cans as well too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rodney.
We just use it on cardboard.
Yeah. Another hack too, if you didn't already know, if you want to make your paint cans last, turn them upside down and spray them until the colour stops. That gets all the paint out of the actual nozzle.
That way they don't clog up. Well, that's 10 hacks, but we have so many more while we were filming this. We're like, I got one! So I think we should have a bonus round.
Yeah, bonus round or honourable
Or maybe
mentions.
honourable mentions.
Honourable mentions as
Honourable
well, too.
mentions. That's kind of like, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio at the Oscars or whatever it is. At the, whatever it's called.
Poor guy.
Never gets an award.
Anyway, here's ones that we thought that should make the cut that didn't. So, everyone who's ever done a car stereo before has probably come across the issue of trying to solder two wires together and how to hold them. Now, these are pretty common, like you can get these from any, you know, J car or anything like that. They're like a little stand and stuff that you can set up. And they work really well, to be honest. On the bench, they're awesome because you can set up your wires and solder them together. They're great.
The trouble I have with these is they're a little bit bulky, and you can't necessarily take these into a car and wire up underneath the car, which I seem to do a lot of. So this is my solution to that. 2 pegs and a nail.
I love this.
2 clothesline pegs and a big nail that I just sunk through the spring of each peg. And I don't know how long I've had this for, but I think this is version 2 because I burnt the other ones through. Because you can see after a while they do cop a little bit of heat. But these are awesome because you can just sit your wires in. And if you want to go a little bit further, you'll notice that I've cut the tail off one end of the clothesline peg. And the reason for that is so that I can sit in a vise and I can use it like that. And you can still use the peg itself. So yeah, this is a neat little hack that I've used for a long time now, and it's just so handy when it comes to doing electrical work. Costs you risking your life stealing your mum's pegs. That's about it, really. And a nail from your dad.
Alright, so everybody knows the pain of when you've just taken a line off full of oil or anything like that, and all of a sudden oil starts spewing out and you got to cap it off. So, what do we do, Nathan?
When you buy things brand new, they usually come with all these bloody caps and stuff like this, you know what I mean? To cap like where something would go in. So we keep them all. We actually love keeping them.
Never ever throw out buttons.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like these can cap a line. If you have lots, you'll find the right size. So if you'd want to cap it off, yeah, we keep our bungs.
It's just a matter of finding the right bung.
Yeah, it's just a matter of finding the right bung. But if you don't have the size, there's actually an adjustable one that doesn't cost you much.
No.
Would you like to show them?
I'll show them.
So this is actually a hack that we got told by... We bought an engine, didn't we?
No, it was from the wreckers.
Yeah, we bought an engine and we saw it and it was genius because you look at this and like we just said, like just even then, Nathan was trying to find the right cap and we got lots of caps and we couldn't find the right one to fit. A really easy solution, earplugs. Get your earplug, squish it around just like you would if you put in your big fat ear and sit in there and she swells up. And she will stop a transmission leak or any kind of fluid leak that you can imagine.
We've actually been pretty impressed with it.
These have been sitting around in our back shed for God knows how long. I'm pretty sure there's oil running from one end to the other. The other end, you can see it. It's kind of full of oil. That used to be yellow. But it works really, really well. And it's so ingenious. Like it's just quick and easy. Just go and plug it up. So we never throw out our used earplugs either, which is kind of gross, but also really handy at the same time.
That wax helps seals it in.
The more wax, the better. It's just like Loctite.
Yeah, exactly right.
Free Loctite.
Free Loctite out of your ears.
Yeah. Anyway, I reckon that's probably it for all our hacks for this episode.
I think that is it.
If you've liked this episode, let us know, and maybe we'll do another one again if we can think of any more. And if you have any hacks yourself, comment below. And whoever has the 2 best hacks, we'll send a sticker pack to those 2 people, I reckon. Because, yeah, we love hacks, we love workshop hacks, anything like that, any tips and tricks or anything like that that can make the journey of working on cars and whatever else you work on in the shed enjoyable or just a little bit easier and not so sweary and angry. So, anyway, a big thank you to Burson Garage for sponsoring this episode. Make sure you head over to the link below to check out the website and everything that comes in that. And I guess we'll see you in the next episode then.
Yeah.
When we're probably working on some cars again.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll see how we go. We've got the 3 cars in the garage at the moment don't work. So, we got all these hacks, but we got no working cars.
Yeah. We just can't seem to get our cars together.
Anyway, we better get to work.
Yeah.
See you in the next episode.
What were we just talking about labelled and you still got the wrong one?
I always think that's the pendulum.
Do you know, for me, exactly the same problem? I do not know why, but those 2, every single time I get them mixed up.
Yeah, I always just go, no, that's not it. Yep, that's it.
Let me grab those bolts. I know you won't get them. Where'd the other one go? See, this is why you have the table. They're brand new. I've wanted a good pair of side cutters for so long, and I finally have some.
Wait till you use it to cut a coat hanger, then they'll be stuffed.
No, that's what I got the old ones for. Anyway, number 1. What are we going to do?